This is Higher Applications of Maths 2023 Paper 1, Question 2. Here we have a precedence table, a table listing a set of tasks that need to be completed, which tasks need to precede each task, and the time each task takes in minutes. We've been told that in a cooking competition, a contestant has 80 minutes to make a creme brulee. We've been asked then to complete a PERT chart to allow the contestant to determine the earliest start and latest completion times for each task. So what we would do is we would do what we've done at National 5, and we would complete this table, placing the tasks and timings in the middle boxes. We can see tasks A and B have got no preceding tasks. So tasks A and B are going to be one of these two tasks here. We can see that task B is required for both tasks C and D. So this would mean that B would have to go in the first box here, and B takes 10 minutes, and A will have to go in here, taking 8 minutes. We can see that B is followed by tasks C and D, so this means we can put C here and D here with their respective times. C and D are both required for us to complete E, so we can see C and D lead into this box for E, so task E would go in there with its time. A quick scan down the table, we can see E is required for task F. So E will be followed by task F, taking 4 minutes. Right, the table's getting a little bit messy here. We've got 2 tasks A and F feeding in here, and 2 tasks peeling off. If we look, A and F lead into G, G leads into I, and I leads into J. So those 3 tasks are going to have to go into those 3 boxes there. All that leaves is task H. Process of elimination says H will have to go in here. But if we just look at H, H is preceded by F. So we've got F leading down into task H here. 2 marks here. The marking scheme says a mark for 6 tasks and times correct, and then a second mark for the remaining 4. We now need to make our forward pass to get our earliest start times. So tasks A and B are our starting tasks. So I'm going to put a time of 0 there. A is leading into this task G and H here. So I'm going to leave the A for just now and concentrate on this pathway here. So B has a starting time of 0. It requires 10 minutes, so that means the earliest starting time possible for C and D are 10. Now, C requires 5 minutes to be completed, D requires 4 minutes to be completed, so this gives us 2 values here. The earliest we can start task E is at 15. If we put a 14 in here, that does not give us enough time to complete task C. So this allows us to progress forwards. 15 plus 2 will give us a 17 for a start time of task F. 17 plus 4 will give us a starting time of 21 for G and H. It's worth noting here that A only requires 8 minutes. However, if we put 8 minutes in here, there is no way all of these tasks will be completed. So this needs to be a 21 in order for these tasks to be finished. Task G starts at 21 minutes, requires 35 minutes. This means that task I can start at 56 minutes. 56 plus 3 means task J can start at 59 minutes. 2 marks for making our forwards pass, a mark for the first 6, a mark for the last 4. We can now make our backwards pass. So starting at J, we can see 54 plus 5 means the whole process can be completed in 64 minutes. We now work back the way. 64 minus 5 gives us 59, giving us the latest completion time for task I. 59 minus 3 gives us 56 for task G's completion time. Now, task H is a final task. Nothing else depends on task H. So task H can be completed at any time, so long as it's between the 21st minute and this final 64th minute. So there is a significant amount of slack in task H. The SQA marking scheme says this has to have the time of 64 in it. If you've put the time of 33 in there, you will lose one of the 5th or 6th mark there. We now work backwards. You'll notice task F has 2 tasks leading into it. 56 minus 31 gives us a potential latest completion time of 21. 64 minus 12 would give a potential latest time of 52. So when you've got 2 pathways going into one box, we've got to pick the earliest one there. So this means the 52 isn't any use. We're going to put 21 in here. If I had a 52 in here, that's me saying I could get to task G at 52 minutes and it wouldn't cause a delay here at all. And that's not the case. If this was completed at 52 minutes, this whole pathway here would be delayed. The 21 can also feed back along the pathway here to task A, meaning there's a significant amount of slack at task A. Working back again, 21 minus 4 gives us 17 for the latest start time of task E. 17 minus 2 gives us a 15 for both tasks C and D. Now, the 15 minus 5 will give us 10 here. 15 minus 4 gives us 11. So we have to make sure we pick the earliest time. Again, if we put an 11 here, we wouldn't have time to complete this task. If we started this task at 11 and it takes 5 hours, we wouldn't be completed by the 15. 2 marks for making your backwards pass. The first 6, or rather the right hand 6, would get you a mark, and your final mark comes from the leftmost 4. Now, we talked about slack here, as in how much wiggle room each task has. So for part B, we have to determine whether or not the contestant can finish on time if they have not preheated their oven when it comes to this point here. So we're looking at task A. There are a couple of ways we can do this. If they need to preheat their oven, that is going to delay this bit by 8 minutes. 64 plus 8 gives us 72 minutes. 72 is less than 80, so task can be completed within the set time. Another way to do this is to consider the slack. So task A has slack of 21 minus 8 minus 0. That gives us slack of 13 minutes. So slack of 13 minutes. 8 is less than 13. So So an 8-minute delay will not delay the final completion time. Notice both of these answers get us to do a little calculation and then compare it to either the full competition time or the completion time for the task A.